You've heard the saying, go heavy or go home, meaning that the only way to get any results is to lift the largest weights possible, and lighter weights are frequently just a waste of time. When you visit the gym, you'll undoubtedly notice men who are lifting weights that are far over their capacity. People appear to firmly believe in the adage, go heavy or go home, or they appear to have forgotten to check their egos at the door. In any case, that only leaves us with one query. Do lighter weightlifting exercises fit into your program? We'll need to review the research, of course, in order to respond to that. For our benefit, a sizable amount of such research has recently been published. The one that'll help us comprehend this the most is a 2016 meta-analysis produced in the laboratory of renowned expert in muscle hypertrophy, Dr. Brad Schoenfeld. This meta-analysis compared studies that used training loads of 65% or more per 1 rep max for the high load group and 60% or less per 1 rep max for the low load group. 1 rep maximum, or 1 RM, is the most weight a person can lift in a single rep. 10 research subjects passed their criteria, providing them with an okay amount of data to work with. Better than some, but still not enough. What they discovered is what matters. Although the results partially show a level of superiority employing a bigger load with fewer reps, lesser weights with higher reps also had a very similar favorable effect. This came as a minor surprise to the researchers. Furthermore, it wasn't just a few high reps. Other studies went as high as 30 or more reps each set, and some even went as high as 100. It appears that a wide range of rep schemes and weight modifications can be used to increase muscle mass. The research suggests that the volume of overall work, reps times sets times weight, is the more crucial aspect. Both heavy and light weights were effective as long as the volume was comparable. All of the investigations, however, employed untrained participants. Untrained participants can usually respond to any resistance training program as they naturally have a higher capacity for growth. Knowing this, Schoenfeld and his colleagues conducted their own study with trained participants using a similar technique. They essentially found the same thing. However, they did discover that lifting more weight does have a marginally stronger hypertrophic impact. Why not just concentrate on lifting more weight if you want to just maximize growth? Despite the fact that both lighter and higher weights can efficiently build muscle, it is possible that different fiber types are primarily developed with each. The stronger, more easily fatigued muscle fibers, known as type 2 and type 2X, are fully engaged when lifting high weights for a brief period of time. Additionally, they expand about 50% more than type 1 fibers do. Your type 1 muscle fibers are weaker and more resistant to fatigue. These qualities enable you to perform many more repetitions with a lesser weight. Although they don't grow as quickly as type 2 fibers, these fibers do in fact continue to develop. This implies that training with greater weights is better for developing type 2 fibers, whereas training with smaller weights is better for developing type 1. There is research that supports this. In a 2012 study, the light group enhanced type 1 fiber growth by 23%, compared to 16% in the high load group when comparing 80% to 30% 1 rep max training. On the other hand, type 2 fiber development was marginally higher in the high load group, 15 versus 12. However, we haven't yet talked about strength. Whenever assessing strength gains, employing larger weights that are 85% or more of your 1 rep max or higher always wins out over anything less. Applying the SAID principle, specific adaptations to impose demands, makes sense too. You must create the demand by lifting more weight if you want to adapt and especially grow stronger. By doing this, you can increase mechanical stress, stimulate your type 2 fibers, which are stronger, and enhance your neuromuscular adaptations. But when it comes to enhancing muscle endurance, the SAID principle also holds true when using small weights. More high-rep training, which also raises metabolic adaptability and lactate threshold to battle muscle fatigue, is required if you wish to lift heavier weights for longer repetitions. This also explains the so-called hypertrophy range, which is said to be between 6 and 12 reps. It directly taps into the mechanical metabolic center, offering you a stable balance for growth. Additionally, it makes the most of additional possible growth variables, including time under pressure, good technique, and avoiding overexertion. So let's ask it again. Does your program make use of lighter weights? It's now obvious that yes pertains to muscle growth. Without focusing too much on one rep range, you should spend time in each one. It still mostly depends, though. It all depends on your objectives in this scenario. It's obvious that if you want to get stronger, your program should lean toward heavy lifting with sporadic sessions of moderate weight training. The ideal strategy for pure muscle gain may be to train evenly throughout all rep ranges. If your goal is endurance, you should spend most of your time performing exercises with lighter weights and more repetitions while sparingly exercising in the other weight levels. Everyone should do a little bit of everything, according to the main lesson. They're all different weights, from light to hefty. They're all advantageous to your general fitness. Everything in fitness ultimately boils down to the same phrase, just like your rep ranges. It depends. Visit our Instagram by clicking the link below. Also, let us know what you think about the rep ranges. Do you think using lighter weights with exercise has any advantages? Please tell me. Thanks for watching, and now go grab some protein.